Hi everyone, welcome back to another gameplay of Infinitode 2. So welcome to another tutorial video, and today I'm gonna talk about research. This has been a very requested topic, and today guys I'm gonna quite shortly, because I cannot really go into detail because there is so much research, so many things to cover that it's almost impossible to do a short video covering every single aspect. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to give you some insight about what are the best stats in the research that you should prioritize. So what is the research that you want to get first, and the ones that are going to really help you out are being able to beat more levels, get more stars, get more resources, more green papers, being able to get higher scores, and so on. All right. So that's going to be the video that I'm going to do today. Now you can see the research can be split in pretty much 3 parts. This left research, that is going to be different from the other one, because every one of these research upgrades is going to cost stars and green papers, and that's it. So there are no other things that are going to make this research cost more or less. It's just stars and green papers. So as you finish every level, you can see every level can award you with some stars, up to 3. So in order to get the 3 stars, you need to beat a certain amount of waves. For example, in this case, level 1.4 is wave 43. If you can beat wave 43, you get the 3 stars. And so on. Every level is different, and as you play the game, so as you get more stars, you're gonna be able to unlock more of this star research. Then every other research in the game is gonna cost not only green papers, but it's gonna cost also other items. It's gonna cost blueprints. Some of them are gonna require blueprints to be upgraded. They're gonna cost resources. So normally at the early levels are gonna cost less Scholar, then they're gonna cost Vector, then Matrix, then Tensor, and then finally Infier. So for the very last levels. Also, the power, experience, and agility blueprints may be required sometimes. For the endless research, also bites are required for many upgrades. And then of course green papers. So these are the extra things about this other research, that it requires also some other items to be able to get them done. It's not just green papers and stars. Stars for the other research star is not required, so you don't need to beat any certain level to purchase the other research, but you're gonna need other items. Now, more generally speaking, right, about research, you can split research into stats for your towers, stats for modifiers, minors, and abilities, and then general stats. All right, so those are the 3 main things about the game. So with the research, you can boost your towers, so you can make your towers do more damage, right? So you can make your towers level up faster, or have more experience level. You can make your towers be able to be upgraded more. You can increase attack speed, projectile speed, range, rotation speed. You can make them gain more experience. You can make them cost less, and also you can reduce the cost of the upgrades in this case. And then you can boost each of the special abilities that each tower is going to have. Each tower has a specific passive, right? And they're all going to be different, so you can boost that one as well. The starting level, and then the experience generation. So these are the general stats for every single tower, and you're going to be able to boost these stats specifically. So for example, in the basic research tree, you're going to be able to boost the damage only for the basic tower, projectile speed only for the basic tower, and so on. And this applies for every single tower. And then you can also boost these the stats of your towers also in this bottom right research, so in this branch right here. For example, you can boost the projectile speed for every single one of the towers. You can boost the attack speed for every single one of the towers, the experience generation, rotation speed, damage, range, upgrade cost, and so on. So there are many things that you can boost also generally to every single tower right here. Now talking about these stats, so the stats about the towers, there are 4 things that are very important, so the ones that you want to prioritize when you are talking about the stats of your towers. First of all is damage. You want to boost the damage of your towers because you're going to be able to do more damage with them, so that's a very important stat you need to upgrade. So both the specific stat and also the general stat, because the general stat is going to affect every single tower, so you're going to boost every single tower at once with this one. Instead, with the specific one, you're going to only boost the damage of that particular tower. In this case, it's basic, but it could be any tower. Then very important is attack speed as well. It's a very important stat. Range, very important as well. And experience multiplier. Now, I'm not just talking about experience multiplier, I'm talking about how many levels you can upgrade the tower, the experience level that the tower can have, how much experience that tower is generating per second, and then the experience multiplier. So how many, when you destroy enemies, how many, by how much that experience is going to be multiplied. So that is going to make your tower level up faster. And these are the most important things when you're talking about towers. So damage, attack speed, range, and everything regarding experience. So the upgrade level and the passive experience and the active experience. Now which are the best towers? Now that is a topic I covered in my past video. So the 2 towers, that the 2 offensive towers that you're gonna max these stats on are gonna be cannon and missile. And instead the more supporting towers where you're gonna boost these stats are freezing and blast towers. Now freezing towers are not gonna all have these stats. Some towers are gonna have different stats because they're all different. For example, the freezing tower, because it will not attack, it doesn't have damage, it has freezing %. Or it doesn't have attack speed, it has freezing speed. It doesn't have any rotation or projectile speed because it's gonna be a damage in range, so there is no projectiles going on. And so you can see that the freezing tower is just different from, like, for example, cannon or a basic attack, because it works differently. Also, blast tower is going to be slightly different because it has no projectiles. It's going to damage the enemies to everybody nearby, so in range of the tower. So again, rotation and projectile speed are not there, but every other stat is there, and so on. So every tower is going to have slightly different stats because they're going to all be different, but overall these are the stats that you're going to boost. So damage, attack speed, range, and everything regarding with experience. So passive level, upgrade level, and then the experience that the tower can gain. Then second thing about research is the stats regarding modifiers, abilities, and minors that you can find up here, right, in this top side of the research. These upgrades are not really that important, especially early on. You just want to get them level 1, just unlock them, but then that's it, because abilities, I don't really recommend them to spend any items, any green papers, any resources in those things early. You're not gonna really use them. So just try to unlock these 3 here in the middle as fast as possible. So just get everything like level 1, and then that's it. And then a very important thing that you're gonna boost early are the bounty modifiers. So when you unlock the bounty modifiers, that's when you're gonna like upgrade them up to 5 so that you can place more bounties, and then upgrading also the how much cash the bounties are gonna generate. So this is, in my opinion, like the priority among modifiers. The one that you're gonna upgrade the first is bounty. So don't really waste any time about abilities. Abilities like is the thing that you're gonna upgrade for last. Miners can be quite helpful, like to have more miners and to increase the mining speed and the installation time if you want to, but once again, it's not something that you're gonna do much later early on. So as you start the game, you're not gonna really mine a lot, so that's why it's not that important. So yeah, probably just prioritizing bounty when you unlock it. Then probably the best thing to do is just get some more miners and increasing some, like especially mining speed. Installation time is not really that important. It's a lot better to increase the mining speed. And then also after you do this is when you start upgrading the modifiers, because that's when you start like using more the modifiers. So the ones you're gonna upgrade the first are gonna be the ones you're gonna use also more. So the modifiers about damage, the modifiers about mining speed, the modifiers about power, and also the modifiers about attack speed. Yeah, attack speed and damage. So attack speed, damage, power, and mining speed. Those are the 4 modifiers after bounty that you're gonna like max, because you're gonna most likely use them in your gameplay. And then last thing, as I said, are the abilities. So abilities are really the last thing that you're gonna upgrade, because you can perfectly fine survive and get like all the levels 3 stars without even needing to use abilities. So it's not really that important. And that's for the stats, so for the research about modifiers, miners, and abilities. Last thing that research in this game is gonna cover are gonna be general stats about the game. For example, with how many cash you start your game on, how many lives you have, how much wave bonus you're gonna be able to gain when you call the next wave early, how much time there's gonna be between the waves, how many green papers you're gonna be able to get more as you be able to complete every game, and I think those are the 4 things that are like more like 5 things that are more general. And then there are a lot of specific things. For example, in this case here, crafting QSIs, or decrypting QSIs, or extended statistics, or the prestige research, but that is something that you want to unlock like after you have got endless mode, so it's something very late on that you're gonna get. So the most important things when we're talking about general stats are the wave interval, the forced wave bonus, and then especially the starting cash. Those are the 3 things that and the green paper bonus. So those are the 4 things that you need to prioritize, especially one of the most important ones is wave interval and green paper bonus. Green paper bonus means that each game is gonna give you more green papers, so playing less you're gonna be able to get the same amount of green papers. So that's a very important thing. So in this way you can really boost green papers, and through green papers you can get everything else. So that's why this is very important. And then also another one important is wave interval, because it's gonna give you more time to be able to defeat the waves, so you're gonna be able to get to higher waves easier. And then also very importantly, early game is gonna boost your score. The higher this wave interval is, the higher your force wave bonus is gonna be, because the wave bonus depends on how many seconds there are still there before you call the next wave. So how many enemies you have defeated and how many seconds you still have. So the more seconds you have, the more this wave bonus is gonna be high. So you're gonna be able to gain more coins by calling the next wave early, and that's gonna also boost your score. So that's why wave interval is pretty important to get. Force wave bonus as well, for the same reason as this one, but comes in seconds. So first is wave interval, and then is force wave bonus. And then last 2 things are starting money and especially lives. Lives is the one that is the least important, so it's the one that like you want to get last. Yeah, the money is going to allow you to like place more towers at the beginning, maybe get down some modifiers or some miners, and so yeah, it's just helpful for that reason. And yeah, that's pretty much all the research done. So once again, in the start research, you want to focus the most important things in the game. So if you're talking about general stats, you're going to boost damage, attack speed, range, and everything regarding experience. So those are the things about the towers that you're going to boost. then you're gonna boost green pepper bonus, you're gonna boost the force wave bonus, the wave interval, so possibly those stats that we talked earlier about that are general stats that are quite important. And then here, for example, there are some bounties. You can get an extra bounty and you can get more cash from the bounties, so that's also quite important to get. There are some boosts to the modifiers, in this case attack speed for the modifier, less upgrade cost for your overall tower, so that's another thing that's not really that important to get, but if you have it, it's just better because you're going to be able to save up more cash as you upgrade your towers. Again, some general stats for the towers, like bonus power for per level, and yeah, so this start research, as you get the levels completed, you get more stars. You're gonna be able to get this one. This is mine, but depending on like what you want to achieve, you may wanna do it differently. So for example, because I'm playing on endless a lot, I have more loot rarity. So I have these last 3 researches that are not really that important. So for example, you can spend, instead of spending the stars for the last 3 researches, you can maybe get like maybe more mining speed from the modifiers. You can get more mining speed right here. You can get force wave bonus. So yeah, you can just change this one as you prefer, and depending on what you're looking for in your gameplays. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So as it is for priorities, considering every single one of these researches that I've talked about, I think there isn't like a best thing to do. Like as you get your specific towers, you're gonna also boost the general stats of the towers. You're gonna also boost at the same time the general stats about the game. And as I said before, you're gonna, whenever you can, you're gonna unlock the stop research, getting more miners, more stats, and when you can unlock bounty, you can start also upgrading bounty. So it's not really there isn't something first that you want to get, like it's all together. So as you're boosting your offensive and your supporting towers, you're gonna boost your general stats, and you're gonna also boost you're gonna get this top research, and then when you get bounties, you're gonna also start boosting that. So it's all pretty much together. So you get 1 level like for everything for cannon, then you get 1 level for everything for missile, then 1 level for everything for blast and freezing, maybe also Tesla, and then you get 1 level for everything in general stats, 1 level for bounties, and so on. So there isn't like a priority in research. I think it's just important like to start getting everything together, but just getting the most important things. So for example, don't waste any time in upgrading your other towers, so the ones that you're gonna really use in the gameplay. So don't waste time at doing that. Don't waste time, for example, in upgrading maybe the starting health or a lot the starting money at the beginning. Just focus on maybe getting other things. Also, the sell refund is something that's very useless, so that's also something that you don't wanna spend any resources on that. And as I said before, abilities, don't upgrade them. Miners early, don't upgrade them. Just focus on modifiers first, so bounties, then damage, power, and attack speed, and then you can start getting some upgrades for the miners, and then eventually the abilities. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So I hope that you guys enjoyed, and see ya. Bye bye.